So we're going to talk about the upcoming UFC fight night. I'm not entirely sure why it's happening, and here's why. Some decent fights on the card, but I'm not sure why Moreno is fighting Loner. And I don't know if that's how you say this guy's name, but when you look at the spelling, it literally says Loner as his last name, and I think that's kind of funny. Um, And I know about Loner, he had that good fight. His first fight in the UFC was with Felipe Santos or whatever his name is, and good fight. But he's also just got knocked out by Charles Johnson, right? Um, I believe a second round KO. Um, and Moreno did just lose not that long ago to Tyr, right? Or Tatsua Tyr, or however you say his name. I'm sorry. um, how did we get here? And I believe this is somewhat short notice. Loner was set up to be fighting Bruno Silva. I don't know what happened with that. You can ask ESPN, but this is now like short notice, I believe. How come it was set for March 14th for Bruno Silva to fight Loner, and then we got moved here to Brandon Moreno to February 28th with Loner? Um, that one doesn't make sense to me. Oh, Moreno had a fight canceled February 28th as oh. Oh, this is Loner covering well, now we have some new insight. So this is Loner covering the fight of Asu, who was supposed to take on Brandon Moreno on February 28th. So that's cool. That's interesting. This could be a big come up for the kid. I don't think it's gonna happen. Brandon Moreno, I'm a big fan of. He's a great fighter, really. Um, he's just fought some incredible guys. You see those edits on YouTube when it's like they show the record, but then it shows like who they've fought. This dude has fought some absolute legends of the game. I mean, really losing last fight, bad KO, round two to again, I'm gonna butcher his name, Tatsutua Tara. But a decision over Steve Ursig, pretty decent fighter. Steve is a good fighter, up and coming still, I believe. A good fight over Amir Albalzi, who's a great fighter, won that. Uh, Lost a fight to Brandon Royval. I felt like it could have, I don't know, it could have went either way. If you go back and you look at the stats, I know Brandon has him outstat in all the striking, but that's the kind of fighter Royval is. If I'm remembering correctly, I feel like Moreno had some good work on the ground, but maybe not. Maybe I'm recalling it differently. I don't know. But he lost that. But again, Brandon Royval's a great fighter, right? That guy's lost to some good people, has beaten some great people as well. Um, but we obviously go to now this point of 2023. He's been losing. He lost to Pantoja, right? Who we thought was about to be taking Demetrius' spot as the GOAT. I still wouldn't claim that, but statistically, KO'd Figueredo. I mean, come on. KO'd Kayakara. I mean, come on. Again, that this was early, lost to Figueredo, got the submission over Figueredo. I mean, the list goes on of the guys that he's fought. Knocked out Brandon Royval. I forgot about that way back in the day, 2020 round one. I mean, goodness, that shows you kind of what this division's been doing. Also beat Kayakara another time in 2019. So he's beaten Kayakara twice. He's beaten Royval twice. He's lost to Pantoja a few times. Um, Great fighter, Brandon Royval is. Now, let's take a look at Loner. Okay. We talked about it. He beat Felipe dos Santos in a decision. If you look at the stats, you'd be surprised, but he had some ground game if you go and watch the fight a little bit. But I don't know. Could have went either way. Knocked out pretty bad by Charles Johnson, but was having a decent fight if you go and you watch the fight. That's his UFC game, right? Now let's go look at everything. Now let's go through the record here. Before Felipe in the UFC, he fought Jose Ochoa, 8-2. He fought Antun Hao, 6-2. He fought Sean Da Silva, 6-1. He fought, looks like David, 0-1. I mean, that's incredible. You got the guy's first and only fight. Andor Sanchez, also 0-1. You got the guy's first and only fight. Ryan Morgan from the country of Wales, 0-1. You got his first and only fight. 1-7. So this guy, Danny Misson from England, is apparently just made up to lose to people in their early careers. And would you believe that his last fight was supposedly for a title? So, to all MMA organizations, let's not make this boxing, please. Let's not just wash this down. You know what I'm saying? But this is sounding like some, I don't know, daddy money got you set up for some fights. I'm obviously just joking. 0-1 from the Netherlands, Glody, he fought. So that's his track record. Okay, you can get what I'm hinting at. We don't need to go back and look at what Brandon fought. If you'd like to, you're more than welcome. But it's a lot better track record than this. So again, I just don't get why this fight's happening. It didn't necessarily need to be replaced. I don't even think Brandon needs to be fighting again this early necessarily after being knocked out. Um, I am not going to lie, that hurt my heart a little bit. Again, I'm a big Moreno fan. I like Moreno, but again, don't be a fan of fighters. Just enjoy the fight because this game's hard. It's crazy. It's not the NFL. It's not the same as just fucking losing on a Sunday. There's going to be another Sunday. You're going to see your team again the next week. These boys take some time off or maybe never come back. Legends fall on their back. Didn't mean to rhyme. I don't think Brandon needs to be getting in so early. But now that it's just against this guy and not a Sue, I'm not worried. But great opportunity for Loner. Great opportunity for Loner. Let's go into the rest of the card. Just the main card. I'm not gonna break down the whole prelims. You got to do that on your own. Marlon Vera versus David Martinez. David Martinez is another one of those guys up and coming. Only has a couple of fights in the UFC. Has a knockout round one over Simon Oliveira. Has a decision over Rob Font. Old Rob Font. I don't know how much that means anymore. But Marlon Vera's old as well at this point. David Martinez, young 27. Young 27-year-old, up and coming. Marlon Vera lost his last fight back in October 18th of 2025 versus Sahibi. He did get a knockdown that fight, but he got completely outstruck otherwise. But he did match output, which surprised me because Marlon is not good at matching output. He's just gonna wait for his time and give you some power and hope that that shit works. And a lot of times it has. 23-11, 11 losses, but 23 wins. You know what I'm saying? Uh, he hasn't won in a while, though, folks, because then we go back to losing to Davison Figueiredo, and then before that, Sean O'Malley, and then before that, he eventually beat Pedro Munoz, and then lost to Corey. This is 2023. 2022, knocked out Dominic Cruz. Old Dominic, Didn't even look good that fight versus Dominic, in my opinion. Maybe I'm recalling it a little bit wrong, but Dominic was looking kind of decent and then just kind of got caught doing Dominic shit with that sway-in. Marlon Vera beat Rob Font. Whatever. 2022. That was a better Rob Font, but still. I'm going to take David. And I just don't think Marlon has it anymore. I think he is just kind of doing it for money at this point, which is just fine. I'm not one of those guys that says get out of the game, don't do it for money. It's your profession, However long you want to do your profession, do your profession. It's not like he's getting put out on his back. Um, it starts to get worrisome, the longer the career drags on. But I don't think Marlon's there, and Marlon can knock this guy out. And who are any of us to say where he's at in his career? But I am going to take David Martinez. He is smaller. He's only 5'4". Marlon's 5'7". Those guys, it feels like a midget to me, and I'm only 6 foot. So if you're bigger than 6 foot, these guys are midgets. No disrespect. I'm obviously just a comedian. No, I'm not. Anyway, he's also got a reach on him, 70 and a half for 67 and a half. So David will need to cut the distance, but also Marlon isn't necessarily the greatest at throwing long strikes unless he's going to set up his kicks. Marlon has times where he sets up his kicks, sets up his knee to the middle, sets up his teep. But if he's just going to get in the telephone booth, which sometimes he likes to do as well, he likes to kind of sit down on his punches, sit down on his hooks, his uppercuts. He likes to sit there, chop his elbows. If he's going to do that and try to fight in the telephone booth, I'm going to go ahead and take David Martinez. That's just how I feel. Moving on amicably. If you watch the Coach JB show, shout out y'all. Y'all are funny as fuck. I'm a nobody, but you guys are funny. Smitty, you're not funny. No, that's just a thing over there to hate on that guy Smitty, I feel like. Moving on. Daniel Zellhuber versus my boy, who I will not call by his new name. I will call him Bobby Green. I do not believe in calling another man king other than Jesus. I like Bobby, though. Bobby's funny. He's a funny cat. The way he fights is interesting. He just puts his hands straight down, talks the entire time, and gets chinned often. Okay? He does. And I respect it because he doesn't give a fuck. He comes back and fights the same way the next time, and he'll win the next time. And you're like, this is the sickest shit ever. And then you'll be rooting for him the next time, and it'll be a bad KO. But this guy comes back and just keeps fucking fighting. Okay? The dude's record, 33-17, folks. That's a lot of fucking fights. Daniel Zellhuber, 15-3. So you're thinking, a vet versus a young cat, right? Here's why this is incredibly dangerous. And I'm not going to talk too much more after it because I don't think there's much to say about this fight. Daniel Zellhuber is 1 year older than me. He's 26 years old, fighting a dude who's 39. He's 6'1", fighting a guy who's 5'8". He is a 77-inch reach to a guy with a 71-inch reach. And ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know, Bobby Green fights just like this. Fights just like this. Pops that jab, pops that 1-2. Fights just like this. All right. So now you think about a guy with short arms to a guy with long arms, right? Who's going to be able to create the distancing there? My guess is Zellhuber. I'm going to take Zellhuber by like some form of probably a shin to the fucking head and or just a clean like 1-2. Clean 1-2 after probably also after Bobby's going to take a shin to the head. You can probably mark my words on that. If there was just a bet, Bobby Green to take a shin to the head, click that. But I don't think that's going to be a thing, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we're taking Zellhuber there, and that's that. Moving on. I'm not even going to go back to the people they fought recently. I'm taking Zellhuber. If you want to take Bobby, ride with the vet. I don't care. Bobby's a cool guy. I just think he's going to go to sleep this fight. Moving on. Moving on. My cat is probably wondering why I'm fucking screaming to nobody. Edgar versus Felipe. I don't want to talk about the fight because I don't care. Now, this fight I like. This Imanol Rodriguez cat. Did he win the Ultimate Fighter? I didn't think he won the Ultimate Fighter. It's saying he's 6-0. I thought he lost at the Ultimate Fighter. Am I tripping? Why is it not letting me click on his fighter profile? Holy. Oh, yeah, he lost at the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, the semifinal. So that's interesting. It says 6-1 on his ESPN fighter profile, but when you just Google like the upcoming UFC card, I don't know if you could see that, but it's showing him as 6-0. There's no way that you could have saw that probably, but oh well, I'm new to this. We're learning as we go, folks. That's how we do it over here. We did not prepare because I don't care. I'm excited for this cat though. Imanol Rodriguez. I was enjoying. I did watch that Ultimate Fighter. It was the Chael versus DC. I wish Chael and DC would have done some type of fight. Maybe not. It didn't need to be an MMA fight. Get them retired. Obviously, different weight classes. Not even really. I mean, Daniels is now super heavyweight, but they could have done some type of wrestling or something. I mean, come on, folks. That's what the Ultimate Fighter part used to be cool. The coaches getting into it, the beef building up. Anyway, Imanol's got some firepower in his hands, brother. You're gonna see when this guy throws, there's dynamite in his fucking hands. And also, he doesn't have a big reach. Now I understand I was just talking about the little reach with King Green versus a bigger reach. Different weight classes, right? So with the flyweights, uh long reach is great, obviously, but those guys really can pack a punch when their arm is just really already right here, and they can just get full power, and their arm is just not too far away from already being full extension, being able to roll that fist over, and it's already now like a full hook, and they've hardly moved their arm, right? So they're super fast and they pack a punch. The dude's fighting Kevin. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it a full beam always with you guys. I don't know Kevin. I don't know Kevin at all. Looks like he lost a decision to some dude named Sue, who I also don't know. He beat Ronaldo Rodriguez, who I do know, so that's kind of interesting. What the hell? Um, if you don't know Ronaldo Rodriguez, it was that guy who wears that funny hat. Not, I shouldn't say funny hat. I think it's pretty cool. He'd always wear that funny hat in the post fight. I'm gonna show you guys right now. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see, but maybe you're just correlating what I'm talking about now because I kind of showed you. So in Ronaldo, I was pretty excited for as a prospect. Well, side quest. What's Ronaldo been up to? Because he lost to him, which is interesting. Because I don't know who this guy Kevin is. That was his latest fight. So this guy Kevin's first fight in the UFC was somebody I was pretty excited for as a prospect, and I'm not aware of it. And so I'm not full time in this. I'm not MMA guru, folks. I don't just get to sit around yet. The plan is to get to just sit around. I'm gonna get real big, just like MMA guru. No, I'm just talking shit because that's what you do on YouTube, right? This guy Kevin though, yeah, I don't fucking know shit about him, man. Uh, do research if you want. I'm taking Imanol. It's gonna be a knockout, first round. Moving on. Moving on. Again, folks, we're just learning as we go. This isn't going to be smooth. I got no production. This is me and my cat back there, again, wondering who I'm talking to. I don't have any lighting, and I'm trying my best. Can you respect that? If you can respect that, then drop a motherfucking like and a subscribe, God damn it. All right. In the first fight to start the main card, got Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco. And I do know about Santiago Luna, and I am excited for him. Why? Because he's 21, and I like any of the guys that get into this game super, super young because I think you got an advantage already. Truthfully, I think you do. I think if you're just hopefully can have the intelligence of either a smart 21-year-old or just not, there's a lot of those 21-year-olds that are still just like a fucking 18-year-old, damn near 19-year-old. So if you're that, you can get into some trouble in the fight game. But if you're got some wits to you, you got some good vets around your game, around your camp, it's pretty scary in this game to be young. All right. It really is. Um, and he's fighting Angel Pacheco, who's not young. He's 34. Sorry if you're in your 30s. I'm not saying you're old. I also don't know you to be a fighter. Okay. How many 34-year-olds you know out there getting into fights? If they are, and they're not getting paid, you should tell them to stop. You should be a good friend. Tell them to stop. Okay. Get them out the streets. All right. We're better than that now these days. But if it comes down to it, fists up, guns down. That's for sure. Anyway, taking Santiago Luna, 21 years old. Okay. He's got a 4-inch reach on him, 74 to 70. Um, Pretty much even height, 5'8", 5'7". But his first fight in the UFC knocked out Lequang, who's 9-3. He now has Angel Pacheco, who's 7-3, who has a decision loss to some cat. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know who this guy is. Okay. I just don't. Gonna butcher his name, but it looks like Cologne Longron. I mean, fuck. How do these? Yeah, I don't know. Names are crazy. Anyway, we're taking the 21-year-old Santiago Luna. So recap. Uh, Pick what you want out of what I picked. Take all of it if you wish. Uh, I do not like to fish. These are fucking for sure picks. All right. So, again, we're taking Brandon Moreno. We're taking David Martinez. We're taking Daniel Zahuber. We're taking, oh, we didn't give a shit about the Edgar and Felipe. You pick. We're taking Imanol Rodriguez, knockout round 1, little extra side if you want that. And we're taking Santiago Luna, also by knockout. Don't know the round. Like, subscribe, drop a comment. Let me know who you're rolling with. Let me know if you're excited or not. Let me know if you've been liking the Paramount. I'm going to be honest. It feels like too much UFC's maybe getting pushed out. I don't know. Some of these cards just, I don't know. They're not fulfilling. I feel like they're just not. Who are they? You know what I mean? It's just becoming kind of like boxing, where you don't necessarily know what's going on in the prelims. Okay, let's pay our respects to the prelims right now. Actually, so this isn't over. The video's not over. Stay here. Don't leave. If you've left, I don't like you. Yes, I do. Prelims. Let me know if you know them. Drop a comment if you know them, please. Ryan Gondra versus Jose Medina. We got Aline Perez versus, oh, I know these ones. Okay. Aline Perez versus Macy, but whatever, right? Christian Quaton, like Chris Matinho. I mean, how's that guy? No disrespect. How's he alive? Fuck. Some of these guys, you got to start looking out for their brain, Dana. You can't just keep letting them do this shit, man. We got professional wrestling leagues now, real wrestling. Let them go do that, man. Damn. We got Douglas Silva de Adron. I mean, that guy's got 7 names and he's 29-6. And he's the fucking 4th fight on the prelims. Who are you? Versus Javier Reyes, who's also 22-5. I mean, are these guys up and comers that I just don't know about? Douglas is 40. This Douglas dude is 40. I've never heard of him. Javier Reyes, this is his first fight in the UFC. So he is an up and comer. So maybe we should be on the lookout for this boy Javier. He fought on the Contender Series. So see, I don't really keep up too much with the Contender Series. If you guys do, you might be, maybe you're looking forward to this guy. So quick pick, let's just roll with Javier off bat. This dude's fighting a fucking 40-year-old. Again, no disrespect if you're 40, but you also probably don't fight. You probably, if you do, it's just little punch in the bags or bar fights that you shouldn't be in. Paying our respects to the prelims. Sofia versus Arnista. Man, I don't fucking know these girls. Eric Silva versus Francis Marshall. Man, I don't know them. Damian Pinas. You think I'm just saying that? All right. How do I get you guys to go check up go look at the card right now? Click off the video, search up UFC on Google, go to the prelim, scroll all the way down. It's the first fight on the prelim. You tell me how to say this guy Damian's name. Damian Penis is what it fucking looks like. Versus Wes Schultz. I mean, these guys just don't seem real. They just don't seem real. Again, they're up and comers. Wes Schultz never had a fight in the UFC. Damian Penis never had a fight in the UFC. He's trying to get his penis wet. Pause into the UFC. This is his first little dip in. We'll see how it goes. I don't know who these cats are. I'm not going to pick either one of them. That's that. Drop a like, subscribe. I'm brand new to this, man, but we're going to fucking get there. And it had to start somewhere.